Ba, 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 ba. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Opie Radio Podcast. I know it's been a minute. It's been a lot of minutes. It's been a lot of days. It's been a lot of weeks. Oh my God. I'm testing this out. I haven't live streamed or podcasted in I don't know. I think it's going on about 3 weeks. Last I left you, there was some drama with Ron, the waiter. We were in the middle of that, and then Ron said, "You know what? I gotta take some time for myself." I'm like, "All right, Ron, you take some time for yourself, and we'll work through it." And then I was moving on, and I did a podcast with Alex Stein, who was absolutely awesome. Alex Stein was awesome, but if you look closely during the podcast with Alex Stein, I was in some pain. I was in some pain because I had just a little small back pull. And here are all the people. I was just babbling to myself. Opie, what's up? How about a shout out? Love you, miss you. What's up, Corey? How are you? Hey, Ted Palawada. Hey, Adam Bush. What's going on? Hey, Bobby, what's going on? Oh my God, I made $2. I haven't even done anything. We want Ron back, not Opie. All right, we'll work on the Ron thing. So anyway, little drama with Ron the waiter. Ron said I need some time, and I'll explain that at a future time. But then I was like, all right, well, Alex Stein, I've been trying to get him on the podcast. So I got him on and we just crushed it. But once again, if you looked closely at my face, I was in a little pain because I got a shitty back. I got 2 herniated discs. My wife has described my back as being like graham crackers and glue. And every once in a while, that bitch wants to pull out. So as I was doing the Alex Stein podcast, I was sitting here and I was like, I was in some pain because I had a slight pull. But I'm like, no big deal. I've been dealing with this for 25 years. I could take care of it. I got my stretches. I understand what to do. So I decided to, do some stretching. And I decided to do some aggressive stretching because we had a little trip planned to the ocean. The kids had off and we were going to go out there. So I'm like, you know what? I can't have a bad back out there. No. The wife and the kids, they're counting on me. So I worked on the slight back pull and I went for an aggressive stretch. I was on the couch and I pretty much broke my own back. I made it 10 times worse to the point that I couldn't get off the couch, and I had to get to my bedroom. It took 20 minutes to get to my bedroom. I was in excruciating pain. I couldn't even do this. People with back problems, they know. I couldn't even do this with my hand without it hurting in my lower back. I couldn't even lift my hand. I couldn't even move my head to the left, to the right. I couldn't move it. So I hobbled into the bedroom and I stayed there for 2 straight weeks, getting up every once in a while. Didn't get up at first. Oh, no, I didn't get up at first. No. I didn't go to the bathroom at first. No. I was holding in duties because I couldn't even imagine sitting on a toilet and taking a poo. So I laid around in my bedroom for 2 straight weeks as I slowly but surely got better. And then I would kind of creep out of the bedroom to hang out with the wife and the kids for, I don't think it lasted 5 minutes because I couldn't sit. Standing too long made it worse. So I would hobble out there, say hi, get a glass of water, and then hobble back into the bedroom. As I sit here today, this is the first time I'm sitting. This is the first time I'm sitting for real in the last 3 weeks. So I figured I would turn this on and say hi to everybody and see, try to, I don't know, get back into it slowly but surely. Oh my God. Opster, glad you're back, brother. How about Opster, I'm glad you're here. So a couple things with the back. People with back issues understand. I got a pretty serious herniated couple discs back there, and that's why you hear me talking about yoga and stretching and Tibetan stretches and workout routines because I got to keep the back nice and loose. But to go back before the back issue, I had the flu. So when I had the flu, I was laying around a lot. So I got everything all mushy and soft, and I wasn't able to do my shit. So I think my back was very compromised. And the people that know, they know. My wife, my kids, my relatives, my friends. They're like, you need to go to the hospital. You need to get this figured out. You need to get this looked at. And I'm only talking to maybe, I bet you there's a lot of you out there. The back problem is such when it goes to the extent that it went with me, where you feel like a complete cripple, where you literally can't stand up without excruciating pain, the type of pain where you know you're going to pass out, where you know you can't sit in a chair, where the thought of even attempting to get to an urgent care, attempting to get to a doctor's office, attempting to get to a hospital, an emergency room, the thought of that, it's incomprehensible. Oh my God, I got to work on all my words again. Incomprehensible. Because your thought is, I can't walk. The pain of just walking, I don't even know how I would get to the elevator, down to the lobby, to get in a cab, to go to an urgent care. That alone, mind blown. It literally is impossible. I'm like, okay, so I can't do that. And even if I got to an urgent care, they're going to be like, yep, your back's pretty fucked up. You need some, physical therapy. And here's a whole bunch of pain pills. And I refuse to do pain pills. All these years with a back issue, I've never taken a pain pill for it. So then my next thought is like, well, and my wife was saying, I was like, well, let's just call an ambulance. You can't even move. I'm thinking if this building was on fire, I would be fucked. I don't even know how I would get out of the building. She's like, well, let's call an ambulance. And then my thought with the ambulance is, okay, I'm laying in bed. I can't even move my head like this without excruciating pain in my lower back. I can't raise my hand even to just drink water. I can't roll over in bed. So whatever position you're in bed, that's it for the night. And you know how that is. Without rolling around in bed, that's a nightmare too. And so my thought is, okay, so then we call an ambulance. They come into the house. They got to now move me. They got to put me on a board, basically. I don't even know how they lift me up to do that without me passing out from the pain. And then they get me on some kind of stretcher. They don't give two shits, so they're gonna hit every fucking bump out of this building. And then I'm in an ambulance. And then every bump they hit, that's gonna be excruciating pain. I would pass out from the pain, no joke. And then I get to the hospital, and you know what they're going to do? They're like, well, this isn't an emergency. You just pulled out your back real bad. So we're going to put you in the hallway for the next 12 hours. So long story short, I decided to kind of rehab and try to get better on my own in the house. And here I am sitting for the first time. I only started walking legit, except for the little shuffle to the kitchen to get some water or a little snack or something. I finally started walking legit 3 days ago. 3 days ago. Yeah. So that's where I've been, you bitches. What's up, Fish Guy Photos? How are you, man? Scott Watson up the river. How are you, man? Everyone good? Hope everyone's good. Ryan, hey, Hope, can you see the World Trade Center from your view? Used to. And they built a whole bunch of buildings down the river. But used to be able to see it. But I didn't have this apartment when the World Trade Center was up. So there you go. DZ Faz. We missed you. Well, I missed y'all. Yard 623. Starting the Opie back surgery fund. Oh, thank you. Well, I gotta if you guys have been with me for a while, at the beach house, I got a friend out there. I met him when I was walking the beach with my very young son at the time, and he comes running up to me. And he couldn't believe I was out there. Huge fan of Opie and Anthony. And now we're just friends. And he's a back surgeon. And he's told me no less than 100 times in the last 10 years, if you could avoid the surgery, avoid the surgery. So that's what I'm trying to do. But, usually with the yoga and the stretching, I'm usually good. But when it goes, it goes. Oh, my God. So I laid around for 2 weeks in a room. I had plenty of time. Opie rules, stuttering John does not. Stutter. You guys are still talking about stuttering John? Oh my God. John Cord's down there in Philly. What's up, Johnny boy? How are you, brother? So I spent 2 weeks in the bedroom with this back issue. I'm actually like propping myself up because I'm scared that my back's getting stiffen up just sitting here. Oh my God. And my wife now describes my back as a bag of broken Legos. And I'll be honest with you. What scares me is I'm getting older. No denying it. I'm getting older, and I'm scared that one day I'm not going to have the muscle tone like a rock climber, because I was able to do amazing things when I was able to like use my hand without hurting my lower back. I was able to do amazing things with my fingertips. I know I'm talking to my back people right now. Amazing things with my fingertips, using my fingertips to lift my entire body out of bed and then get in the position where I could flop over. And then I would use one hand to push my entire body up to my feet. I wanted to live stream it so bad so you guys could just point and laugh, because I looked so ridiculous. But my fear is that now that I'm getting older, I'm worried one time the back is going to go out, and I'm going to be fucked because I'm not going to have the muscle strength to get through it anymore. I don't like that thought. So anyway, we're back. Hopefully we're back on a regular basis. I don't know, but I spent 2 weeks in my bedroom, and you're looking at a guy that watched more Olympics than anybody. And I gotta tell you, what a fucking snooze fest. If it wasn't for the men's and the girls hockey teams, those Olympics would have been a they would have been a bustaroo, right? Yeah, the curling was cool. The Lindsey Vonn thing was cool. Watching her fucking break her leg in half, and then they said that they almost amputated her leg. Oh, by the way, that's around the time that I fucked up my back, when Lindsey Vonn broke her leg in half. And she got out of the hospital before I got better from this back. And then tells everybody that, they almost amputated her leg. That's how bad this fucking thing was. It was annoying. Oh, you guys are really writing some shit. I'll try to go to the chat in a minute. So, but I watched the Olympics. Besides the hockey, what a fucking snooze fest. I don't know. I thought I'd like curling and realized, oh yeah, I don't like curling. It was fun a few Olympics ago, but yeah, I don't like it. It's just shuffleboard on ice, and they throw the first stone, and the game's already over because they're like, oh, all right, because it landed there, they're going to do this, and they're going to do that, and then they're going to do this, and then that, and this is going to end in a tie. Oh, okay. And then they're going to give the hammer to the other gal. But anyway, I watched the Olympics. The hockey was very exciting. Very happy for my cousin. His two boys, Jack and Quinn, have a gold medal, bitches. So I'm very, very happy for my cousin. That was huge. And then they went to the White House. And that Trump knows how to take care of our national heroes, our Olympic heroes, our gold medal winners. He served them McDonald's. These guys just beat the Canadians for the gold medal in the Olympics, and you're handing out Big Macs. What the fuck, Trump? I know Trump likes his fast food, but those guys would have appreciated some filet mignon or some good sushi or something, right? I think so. But anyway, I watched a lot of the Olympics, and that's all I got on it. I don't know anything else about it. That's it. That's it. The hockey was amazing. The curling. I guess there was one guy that was shooting a stupid gun with his hand in his pocket. He was kind of fun. The ice skating is gay. I don't get ice skating. I think it's stupid. And then, the couples, they got to make believe they got to make believe they're a couple. They got to make believe they're a romantic couple. And the guy's looking at her going, ew. So I watched that. And then also what I watched as I was in bed for 2 weeks with a back issue. I'm getting nervous. Should I just try to, okay, good. All right. Okay. I could get up. Okay. That's good. Kind of want to say F you to you guys. Why didn't one of you, all these years, I think at least 12 to 15 years, there's been a show on TV that not one of you told me about. Not one of you. And that show would be Alone. What the fuck? I thought Naked and Afraid was cool. I thought Survivor was cool. Survivor looks stupid compared to Alone. And I jumped in on season 11. I think it was on Netflix. I think it was a trending show as I was I had the remote like this and I was able to oh God. I had to find a show quick because every push was hurting the lower back. Oh God. And I was on Netflix and it had top shows in America and it said season 11 Alone. I'm like, fuck, I'll try this. And not one of ya told me about this show. I am so hooked on Alone. And do you know the premise? You got 10 people. They throw them in the woods with a few things. I wrote down what they get. They bring a sleeping bag, an axe, a saw, a knife, a fire starter, fire starter, 2-quart pot, fishing lines and hooks, gill net, and some trapping wire. And then the game is simple. Whoever lasts the longest gets $500,000. And Alone is absolutely amazing. What makes it amazing, they stripped it down. There's no goofy host. There's no gimmick like being naked and having fucking bug bites all over your body. It's just them out there in the wilderness, and you watch them building their shelters, and you watch them scared as all hell at night because there's grizzly bears in the area. And then they got to figure out what they're going to eat, and they got to figure out how to make their I was going to call it a tent. Their living arrangements. They want to make it as comfortable as possible. And then they got to find food. And some of the guys, they go for the big game because they got bow and arrows too. Did I write that down? Yeah, they got arrows, but only a certain amount. And one of the guys, I think it was Timber, he took down a moose with an arrow. That was fucking badass. And then he had enough fucking food for a very, very long time. And the show was absolutely awesome. In season 11 of Alone, they dropped them off for the first time north of the Arctic Circle. And they were there late summer, early fall, I believe. By the end of the show, it was as nasty as you could imagine. And God, I loved the show. And I love this guy, William. I'm not giving anything away in case you jump in. But William had it pretty easy, man. Like everyone else is suffering. One guy, he's I don't know. I think he's 4 days in and he's walking through the woods with his stupid bow and arrow and the arrow goes off and fucking impales him in his leg. And he almost fucking killed himself because that artery that's in your leg. And they had to medevac the guy out of there, and he was done. You don't come back. As soon as you go on your little walkie-talkie, and say, I'm done, I'm tapping out, then they come and get you. And this idiot, this fucking idiot, the arrow somehow went off. I don't know how that happens while you're in the fucking woods, and it almost killed him. But then you had this guy, William, and he was having an easy time of it, but I wrote it down. They had to find all sorts of shit to eat. A lot of them ate fish because there was a river nearby, so they were very successful with their fishing. And then every once in a while you got to kill like something gross, like a bird. They're eating birds or a rabbit. Rabbit's not that bad, but the birds, watching them kill the birds and eat birds was gross. And William's like, oh, a beaver. he fucking he fucking hunts a beaver, this guy William. I wrote it down again. And that's how he was getting his protein, And he boiled and cooked the beaver's tail and its feet. And he described the skin of the beaver foot as tasting like a burnt rubber boot. Can you imagine? Ugh. And he's just chowing down like it's like no big deal, like he's having fucking buffalo wings. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is better than I thought it would be. And he's actually eating the tail of a beaver. Oh my God. So Alone, season 11. I don't know. I think there were like something like I don't know, like 16 episodes. Oh, I watched that whole fucking thing as I'm just laying in bed with this back issue. Fuck this is sad. Can you not afford to retire? Oh, I missed you guys. That's one thing. As I was laying in bed in back pain, I'm like, oh, I don't have to deal with any assholes. Anyway, the next thing I watched was the documentary on the ABA. The ABA. And I don't know if I got basketball fans out there, but there was a time the NBA was looking a little goofy and stupid, and it was primed for another like league to come in and take a big market share from the NBA. And the ABA went for it, bitches. They went for it. They're the ones with the red, white, and blue ball. They're the ones that had Rick Barry back in the day, and they had Julius Erving, Dr. J. There you go. Drew Mayfield knows Dr. J. And there's a whole documentary on the ABA, and I highly, highly recommend it if you're a sports fan. It was unbelievable. These 11 owners, they're like, fuck, David Thompson, very good. Yeah, let's name some ABA players. Do you want to go Connie Hawkins? I'll go Connie Hawkins. You want to go Dan Issel? I'll go Dan Issel. You want to go with the black militant guy? Oh, fuck, I forgot his name. They had a black militant guy that they said was fucking amazing. They said he was, on par with Michael Jordan, and he hated white people, and he was in the ABA, and he would tell all his white teammates, hey, man, we're teammates on this court, but outside this court and on the streets, I don't want anything to do with y'all. he absolutely hated white people, but he made an exception when he was playing on the court with white guys. He wasn't happy about it, but he made the exception. Who else? Who else was in the ABA? Ron Berman, very good. Point guard for the San Diego Conquistadors. Moses Malone, very good. So the documentary on the ABA is really good. And a couple of things you need to know about the ABA. They introduced the three-point shot. You don't have NBA basketball without the three-point shot, and that came from the ABA. And also the slam dunk contest. The NBA wasn't doing the slam dunk contest. The ABA did that shit. And there's a famous slam dunk contest where Dr. J takes off from the free throw line and dunks it. Absolutely an iconic dunk, and that came from the ABA. And then the NBA's like, wow, this is pretty fucking cool. I think we gotta bring the 3-point shot into the NBA, and I think we got to do the slam dunk contest. They were way more flashy in the ABA, and what made that league survive for a while was getting Dr. J. He was a huge get. He was a sleeper. No one really knew how good Dr. J was. I think he played for Springfield, Massachusetts or something. The UMass, I forget. And the NBA didn't know anything about the guy. They thought he was small and stuff. They sort of knew him in high school. And he played on the courts of Harlem. they kind of knew him, but they didn't think he was, good enough for the NBA. And the ABA is like, fuck that. And it turned out that Dr. J was the superstar in the ABA. Love you, coming in. What's up, Tyler? Good to see you, brother. I'm already running out of energy after laying in bed for over 2 weeks. Is it true that Clearwater Chad played in the ABA for the Buffalo Braves and he's not even from Clearwater? I think you're right on that. Very good. Another person that knows his ABA. Connie Hawkins. Yeah, he played for Pittsburgh. He was blackballed by the NBA because they thought he was involved with some kind of gambling thing. And he knew the players in the gambling thing, but it was proven that he had nothing to do with the gambling thing. But that didn't stop the NBA from literally blackballing him. So he had to go to the ABA. And then his case went to the Supreme Court. He won. And then he moved over to the NBA and became a massive star for the Phoenix Suns, I think. But anyway, where the ABA started going south was there was a little player coming out of UCLA. His name was Lou Alcindor. Yes. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said, no, my name is Lou Alcindor, not Lou Alcindor. We all said Lou Alcindor growing up, but he's like, no, it's actually Lou Alcindor. So the ABA, they're like, if we get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, we're set and we could pretty much take out the NBA. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was very interested because who had the pick in the ABA was the New Jersey Nets. They weren't New Jersey Nets yet, right? They were New York Nets because they played at the Coliseum. The New York Nets. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he's like, I'm from fucking New York. I'll play for the New York Nets and the ABA. I could come home and play basketball. He was all about it. And the NBA, the team that had the rights in the NBA was the Milwaukee Bucks. So Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he goes to the two teams. Look, I don't want to deal with you guys fighting back and forth and negotiating. I want both of you to give me your best deal, and then I'll decide. The fucking ABA, which was run by who the fuck was that guy? He played for the Minnesota Lakers. He had the goofy glasses, the white guy. Oh shit, what was his name? He was considered one of the best centers in the league before black people started playing in the NBA. But he was the commissioner. This motherfucker lowballed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. George Mikan, thank you, brother. I'm a little slow. This is the first live stream / podcast in I think 3 weeks. So a little slow. So bear with me. Thank you. So Mikan is the commissioner, and he lowballs. He gives Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, their offer for him to play with the New York Nets. And the Milwaukee Bucks and the NBA were like, we can't fucking lose this guy. We got to give him at least $1 million, which was a ton of, it's a ton of money now, obviously. But considering what they make in the NBA now, it's nothing. But for the time, it was a lot of money. And the fucking ABA and Mikan, they're like, we know he wants to come home and play for the Nets, so we'll lowball the fucker. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was insulted by the offer, obviously, and went into the NBA. But the ABA was this close to getting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and that would have made the ABA probably better than the NBA at that point. But the documentary was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I typed out this because the players in the ABA were some unusual players. A lot of street ballers from Harlem, and a lot of undesirables. A lot of players that the NBA didn't want to deal with, so they went to the ABA. And one of the guys was Marvin Bad News Barnes. The story of Marvin Bad News Barnes, who was in the ABA. This guy once refused to board a flight from Louisville to St. Louis to play in an ABA game. They're loading the plane, and they're going from Louisville to St. Louis, and it's departing at 8. And Marvin Bad News Barnes goes, well, when are we going to arrive? Leaving at 8. When are we going to arrive? And they say, well, we're going to arrive at 7:59. And that was because of, time zones. But Marvin Bad News Barnes didn't understand time zones. So he said, I ain't getting on no time machine. And he ended up renting a car and driving himself instead because he didn't understand the time zone thing. And he thought he was in some kind of fucking time traveling vehicle. But the ABA documentary was absolutely awesome. And then obviously, as you know, they merged with the NBA, and teams that came from the ABA that are still in the NBA are the Nets, the Pacers, the Nuggets, I think. Who else? Is that about it? I think there's about 6 of them in the NBA, but I don't remember all the teams right now. So I think half the ABA rode the Underground Railroad. There you go. There you go. The Jazz. Okay, the Jazz and the Spurs. Thank you, Rizzo. And thank you, Humble Pie. Thank you very much. So if you're just tuning in, I'm slowly trying to get back from literally blowing out my back to the point I probably should have had an ambulance and went to the hospital. I only started walking about 3 days ago. I'm sitting literally for the first time. All right, it's still not stiff. Good. I'm literally sitting for the first time for an extended period of time. First time in like 3 weeks. So bear with me. It's going to be a slow start to get back into this. I'm exhausted because when I started getting kind of better where I could move around a bit, I couldn't really use a lot of my body. So like I said, like a rock climber, I was using my fingertips to pull my whole body up like this. I was holding on to the bedboard like this so I could flip over in the middle of the night. And that would take like 5 minutes, and then you would get comfortable on that side. And then, I got to move back over the other side. Just sleeping on your belly with your arms like this, an arm under you. Now that arm's stuck because you can't lift your body to get your arm from underneath you. It was a nightmare. Where's Ron? Ron, I'm sure I'll get Ron back on this. But and we'll get into the Ron drama. Don't worry. A lot of people thought I tapped out because of the Ron drama. That's not true. It's not true. I literally fucked up my back really bad. You can see it if you go back and check out the Alex Stein one. The pain in my eyes. I was trying to get through that live stream, and then after I try to help fix myself, which I've been able to do over the years. I even got an inversion table in the corner here for my back to try to keep it healthy. But I did one stretch that I shouldn't have done. Nah. And it went from like a back pull that I would say was about a 3, maybe a 4 out of 10, went to way over the fuck 10. Way over the fuck 10. Oh, that's right. We got a war going on. Oh, my. This is a lot of people like, Ope, what do you think of the war? Actually, they haven't been saying that because I've been MIA. But if they were saying that, Ope, what do you think of the war? What do you think of Trump? It's simple as this. Simple. Trump has all his chips, right? And he's going all in. And one reason he's going all in, and don't get pissed at me, I just tell it like I see it. We attacked Iran because of the Epstein files. It couldn't be more obvious, because why the fuck do we give a shit about the people of Iran and not give a shit about the people of Ukraine? Do the math. So, Trump, that Epstein files thing, they were just babbling. And I kept saying to people around me in my little life, stop babbling about the Epstein files, because this is going to lead to a huge war, because now this guy needs a distraction. And that's what that's about. But Trump went like this with all his chips. And I'm telling you right the fuck now. Trump went all in. Huge gamble. if he comes out of it on the other side in a positive light, he will be considered one of the greatest presidents of all time because he figured out the Middle East thing. But if it goes sideways, he's going to get his ass handed to him. Handed to him. And that's where we're at with the war for now, man. But I think we're up to 6 servicemen that lost their lives. Fuck. I mean, I'm one of my friends, Scott Watson. He was in the shit in Iraq, bro. I get it. I get it. No matter what, I support the troops, and I pray they stay safe. They stay safe. And speaking of praying, little thought. Had a lot of thoughts laying in bed for 2 weeks. I don't think religion was supposed to be this complicated. I think if there is a God, I think God would be like, this religion thing was supposed to be easy. Easy. You guys are making it so complicated. You're fighting wars over this. It's supposed to be easy. Anyway, other things I watched other shit that you probably don't give a shit about. But I watched, one thing you should give a shit about. He's a radio god. And I'm sort of friends with him. We've lost touch a little bit over the years, a little bit. But Phil Hendry has a documentary out on Amazon Prime. Phil Hendry is a radio fucking god. And if you don't know anything about Phil Hendry, fucking, do a deep dive and check his shit out. He's got a podcast out now. Phil Hendry's the guy that was basically mocking talk radio as he was doing talk radio. And what he was doing was he was interviewing people that would get his listeners insanely pissed off. And the beauty of Phil Hendry, these guests that he had on the show that were pissing off his listeners were Phil Hendry. Phil Hendry would be interviewing himself. And the other voice, he would change his voice and be the guy on the phone that he's interviewing. And the brilliance to pull that off. And he pulled it off for a while. And then he kind of got out that he was doing the, all the voices on the show. But even when people knew that he was doing the voices on the show, it still didn't hurt the show. And a ton of people never knew that it was him. But he would have a mic like this. He would ask a question of his guest, and then he would quickly lean back in his chair and go on the phone like this. So the audio would be different. But the Phil Hendry documentary on Amazon Prime is, it's great. It's absolutely great, especially if you're a fan of radio. All right. And then finally, the last thing. Oh, wow. It is getting dark in here, huh? There you go. Hi, everybody. This is a face that's not in pain anymore. Oh, my face. My wife's like, oh, it looks like the pain's going away. It's not on your face anymore. My back people understand exactly what I'm going through. I got notes and I can't read the notes because it got too dark in here all of a sudden. I want to do a quick one anyway because I'm exhausted from dealing with this back. And then I wasn't eating, and then not moving your body that much. But then when you had to move your body using, like I said, your fingertips to just do anything possible, it just exhausted the hell out of me. But I saw a documentary. My dear friend Vic Henley was a huge fan of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and I like Blood, Sweat, and Tears a lot. But there's a documentary out on, I think this is Amazon Prime as well. And the documentary is Whatever Happened to Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Blood, Sweat, and Tears, think Chicago. Think rock band with a lot of fucking horns. Think a rock band with some jazz influences. You older people understand the Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So they had a singer, David Clayton Thomas. David Clayton Thomas, lead singer of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, had one of the greatest voices in rock history. His voice was insane. And he was from Canada. He was from Toronto. And Blood, Sweat, and Tears, I think a lot of the guys in the original lineup, they were from the New York City area. And they put out an album that did very well, but it had no hits. And then they realized they needed a stronger lead vocalist, so they got rid of their original vocalist, and they got this guy, David Clayton Thomas from Toronto. And he came rolling in, bitches, and Blood, Sweat, and Tears put out another album. And on the same album was Spinning Wheel, Round and Round. They had Spinning Wheel, When I Die, which is one of the greatest fucking songs ever recorded, When I Die. And they also had I'm So Happy You Came Into My Life. I'm So Happy. So those three mega hits were on one Blood, Sweat, and Tears album. And the album was so huge that year for the Grammys, they beat out the Beatles. They beat out Abbey Road. Blood, Sweat, and Tears got the Grammy over the Beatles. Abbey fucking Road. This band was massive. So then you got this President Nixon, right? We're going way back, kids. Way back in the time machine. You got Nixon. And Nixon's trying to get some bands to go over and to play, behind the Iron Curtain. I think Romania, Yugoslavia, countries like that. And Nixon was trying to get in good with some of these communist countries. He was palsy with the president of Romania. And then fast forward, there was a huge revolt in Romania, and they fucking executed the guy. But Nixon loved the Romanian guy. So Nixon's trying to get a little propaganda going, and he's like, let's send some of our bands over there. A goodwill trip. And most of the bands were like, fuck you, we ain't doing this shit. Because you got to remember, this is what confuses people, because now the youth of America, we're embracing like Kid Rock, a band that is for the establishment. But there was a time, kids, in the late 60s and the 70s, bands hated the establishment, hated Nixon, hated politics, hated the president. So Nixon's like, oh man, I got a problem here. I got to get some bands together for this little tour, behind the Iron Curtain. And all of a sudden, someone went up to Nixon and said, "Sir, I think we got this figured out. There's a band called Blood, Sweat, and Tears." "Oh, I know Blood, Sweat, and Tears." "Well, sir, the lead singer's from Toronto. He's in America illegally because he has legal problems in Canada." And Nixon went, ooh. And they basically told Blood, Sweat, and Tears, "You're going to do this tour for us. You're going to go play behind the Iron Curtain in Romania, Yugoslavia, and a few other places. Poland, I think, was one of them. And if you don't do it, we're going to deport you." So Blood, Sweat, and Tears had no choice because, they were a rock band. So, you're supposed to be against the establishment. But they had no choice. So they went and they played the show. They were there for a while, and they filmed the whole thing. It was supposed to be a giant documentary that they were going to put out. It was a whole nice propaganda piece for America. Look at us having some goodwill toward these countries. Blood, Sweat, and Tears goes over there, and they crushed it. And Romania, especially, they were so mad that the fans were having such a good time that while they were playing Spinning Wheel, one of their big hits, the teenagers were too excited, having too much fun, and they were beating the living shit out of them as Blood, Sweat, and Tears is playing their big hit. So they come back to America. Long story short, the left immediately hated them. They called them blood, sweat, and shit. So the left said, "Fuck you." You were, oh wait, I think I wrote it down. Let me see if I got some light here. Oh man, I can't see my notes anymore. They were labeled State Department puppets, I think. Abby Hoffman. when Abby Hoffman said don't like a certain band, everyone followed suit. So the left said, "Oh well, we can't like Blood, Sweat, and Tears anymore. They did this for Nixon and the State Department. Fuck these guys. Fuck them." Not like today. Now we embrace the bands that like the establishment, right? We embrace the Kid Rock. So the left hated him. And then Nixon turned his back on the band and the right, because the right's like, well, you're hippies. You're a rock band. You got long hair. You're fucking man. This goes against our values. So the right also blew off Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So because of this little tour they did behind the Iron Curtain, basically Nixon and the establishment said, "You embarrassed us." Because they were supposed to go over there and play nice. Like, look at our nice little band. They're kind of jazzy. They got a bunch of horns. You know, this is a good, feel-good thing. And, they were rioting in Romania. It was a pro-American riot, which pissed off all the bigwigs in Romania. They're like, well, no, this isn't good. We don't want them, praising America. So they were basically fucked from the right and the left. So Blood, Sweat, and Tears, basically the documentary, the answer to the question, whatever happened to Blood, Sweat, and Tears, they came back from this trip. They couldn't even get booked in a fucking casino or a club. They went from playing like Madison Square Garden and whatnot to no one booking them anymore. And the band pretty much, they never disbanded, but they never had the success of that album with those 3 hits. And I believe David, David Clayton Thomas, a lot of people consider one of the greatest vocalists in rock history. He went back to Canada and went bye-bye. Because then he didn't even own the name Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So he was trying to keep his career going without the band. Because he ended up, even though he did this favor for Nixon and the State Department, they still fucking made him leave America. And that was the end of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So just another thing I watched while I was in bed for 2.5 straight weeks with this stupid back issue. Oh, fuck. All right. I didn't get to the chat. So look, let me do this. I'm literally running out of energy. My voice, why do you sound mad? Do I sound mad? Do I sound mad, everybody? I'm actually happy to be back. Like I said, the first time I've done this in like 2.5 weeks because I literally blew out my fucking back. I'm not mad, brother. I don't know what you hear on the other side of this. Oh, because I took some shots at the establishment, maybe. This guy goes, he doesn't sound mad. He just sounds gay. Jesus. Oh, I missed you guys. Don't read your comments. I won't read them. Okay. Adam, thank you. You sound good. I'm not gonna lie, this is a bit of a struggle, but I'm happy to be back. I've been trying to turn this thing on for I don't know, no less than a week, but I literally couldn't sit. Like I said, this is the first day I actually sat for this long, and okay, it's not stiff. All right. I think we're on our way. And like I said, I just started walking literally 3 days ago, taking these little walks around the neighborhood. And when you have back problems and you're in a city like New York and you're trying to walk down the fucking sidewalk and every person's coming at you and you realize how much you can't fucking move out of the way of people, it's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. All right. We can get into your questions tomorrow. I'll try to do another one tomorrow. I don't think I want to get back to doing it first thing in the morning, but I'm not there yet because I'm trying to sleep in. I got to rest. And I'll answer your questions. There's a ton of fucking comments. Oh my God. Oh my God. A ton of comments. Anthony was on the news today. What did he do now? What did Anthony do now? What did he do? All right, guys, I'm going to go short and sweet, but I definitely wanted to finally, jump on this thing and try to get this going again. And yeah, man. Thanks for the people that reached out. I know who you are, and I greatly appreciate you. As soon as people realized what was going on with me, they reached out immediately, and that means a lot to me. Thank you very much. And like I said, if you're just tuning in, I didn't tap out because of the Ron drama and the Anthony drama. I tapped out because I fucked up my back. One of the worst in recent years. And I did it to myself. It's like I said, I had a back pull that was like a 3 or 4 out of 10. I'm like, I've had a million of those where I could deal, but I was panicking because we had things planned for the family. And I'm like, instead of doing some easy stretching that could help me a little bit, I went for some aggressive shit. And I made my back issue that was about a 3 or a 4 into a 10 plus, all as far as you could go, where I literally couldn't move. And the paranoia of knowing if something goes wrong in this fucking building, I won't be able to get out. I won't be able to get out of the building. That's a horrible feeling. Horrible. All right. My back. I was very injured. Yes. There was other shit that happened while I was laid up, right? Oh, people thought that Jim Carrey was a clone. Oh, God. I'm not really on Twitter anymore. If I have a line or a dumb joke, I'll throw it on there, but I'm not reading most of the shit anymore. I can't. Just trying to follow the news with this war. What they are writing on Twitter, because everyone's just going for their clicks. I would say 90% of the shit that's on Twitter about the war is completely inaccurate, which sucks because you can't get the news from the news anymore. We all know that. That's stupid. You actually tune in the news for the news? That's dumb. Can't do that. We all know that. So, all right, I'm babbling. I got to get my chops. I got to get my chops back. I'll get my chops back. Is Tony P in the room? What's up, Tony P? All right, guys. Oh, by the way, right here last night, maybe a little further over here. My wife goes, Elon Musk, the Falcon 9, SpaceX. You're supposed to be able to see it. I'm like, what the fuck? Really? Yeah, man. He launched that thing in Florida, and the whole East Coast was able to see it. I'm like, what time? She goes, 10:02. They know the exact time? Yeah. So it was 9:56. So me and my wife just staring out this fucking window behind me. And sure as shit, man, we saw the Falcon 9 out this window. Big white streak just flying northeast, I think it was. Yeah, northeast. That was badass. I hope others saw that. Supposedly you could see it along the entire northeast coast. So Opie was reading the whole time. I wasn't reading, Davian, man. Davian, man. Let me talk to this Davion Williamson. Davion. Every live streamer, every podcaster, it's all negative bullshit. Just trying to knock the guy down. Try to knock down other live streamers and podcasters. Join our team. We're trying to do something a little different here. And when we have to take our shots, we certainly will. But that's getting tiresome. Just going on your live stream and just beating the shit out of every other live streamer. That doesn't sound like fun. Now, does it? All right. I'm going to go. How did you get hurt, Ope? Well, hey, Sam Kinnison. Well, I was peppering with my daughter playing some volleyball. Just peppering light. I went, oh, my back. Oh, that hurts a little. I've had a million of those. Like, oh, that hurts. All right, let's stop. Let me get some stretches done. Let me put a little ice. But it hurt. And then I was making dinner. And then that hurt pulled a little more. my back just wanted to go. Every once in a while, it doesn't matter what the fuck you do, your back just says fuck you, and it just pulls. And it pulled. And I think honestly, to answer your question, maybe this helps people with back issues. I have 2 herniated discs. And if I'm not stretching and doing yoga like all the time, like every day, like I'll get my back to a point where I don't notice it at all. I'm still very athletic. I played beach volleyball all last summer. I jump on my bike. I play basketball. I swear everything. I like it like nothing is wrong. Like nothing is wrong. And the problem is, I'm talking to the back people now. You start thinking you don't have a back issue anymore. So, man, then all of a sudden you're like, I'm not going to stretch as much because there are very specific stretches for the lower back. Feeling pretty good. I'll blow off a day. I'll blow off 2 days. The next thing you know, you blew off a week. And then in my case, I either had the thing that shut down the world for a while or the flu. It was one of the two. So before the back issue, actually, I had a shitty winter, dude. I missed all the blizzards. I missed everything. So before the back issue, I was in bed with let's call it the flu because I didn't get tested for the other thing. So I was laid up for a while. And while I was laid up in bed, I was moving around the house and stuff, but I had no desire to do any of my stretching or my yoga. I think I compromised and softened up everything, my core and everything else. So then when I had the little pull, it pulled a little more because my back wasn't that stable. And then stupid me, I made the mistake of doing some very aggressive stretching because I thought I could take care of it because I didn't want to have a little back problem. I wanted to have no back problem like any of us. But I should have said, you know what? You got a little back problem. Take your time. Rest. Do the light stretching. You'll be back in no time. But me, stupid fucking stubborn me, I said, nah, I want to take care of this today. I think I could be 100% by dinner. So I did a very aggressive stretch. For the people out there, I had I also had a vertical slide. Oh, I forgot to mention this. I had a vertical slide where if you look at yourself in a mirror, it looks like you're leaning up against a lamppost. And there's very specific stretches where you literally, put yourself up against a wall about 2 feet from the wall and you put your arm on. I should make YouTube videos about the back. I know this shit. And you put your arm, right? And then you push your back, your hip all the way into the wall to try to straighten yourself out because you look like a question mark when you're standing. This is what I look like. And this is not much of an exaggeration. Wait, all right. I won't exaggerate. Like this. This is what I look like. I was slanted. It's called a vertical slide, I think, or vertical shift. So to aggressively try to take care of the vertical shift, I went on my couch, and what you do is you put a whole bunch of pillows way up in the air, and then you lay on your side, right? So if you're tilted this way, you're actually laying on this thing the other way, and you're trying to basically straighten out your spine again. That was too dramatic for my situation, and when I got up, I felt my whole back just pop. And then I was in a world of hurt for over 2 weeks. All right. I'm out. Guys, thank you very much. Thanks for checking this out. I think it made a few bucks. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all. I'll get Ron on this thing soon. I gotta ease back into this slowly but surely. But this went pretty well. And wait, I want to see. See that hurts just standing again, but I got a couple stretches that'll take care of that. All right. The audio version of this will be available on the Opie Radio podcast. Okay. All right. And also, as I was laying around, a quick plug. As I was laying around, I was kind of on my laptop like this. I couldn't move, but I was able to get my laptop. The screen was like this close. I was just like this. And I found a ton of shit I forgot about. And I got another podcast. My other podcast is called Opie and Carl. And I'm not doing it for you, the hater. I'm doing it for me I'm doing it for Carl. I'm doing it for Vic. I'm doing it for all their friends. I'm doing it for all their family members. I'm not making much money on this thing at all. But the stuff I did with Carl was so special. And that's what started the Opie Radio podcast, obviously. But I got to a point, I'm like, this should have its own separate podcast. So all the episodes I did with Carl are now slowly but surely being uploaded to my other podcast called Opie and Carl. But as I was in bed with the back issue with the laptop, like 2 inches from my face, I found so much shit that I forgot about. So I'm also adding that stuff to the Opie and Carl podcast. So subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. All right. I would appreciate that. Carl would appreciate that. Some people are like, well, just this is what I hear when the hater comes at me. I'll say this much. Carl would be so fucking happy that I'm keeping his name alive. So shut your mouth. All right. Oh, wait. Let's say hi to who's this guy? Eton. You should go to warmer weather like Cape Coral. There's a B&B I can recommend. All right. Thank you. Thanks for your $5, I guess. Is that an inside joke that I don't know about? Are you guys hitting me with inside jokes and I just sit here and read them all stupid? And then you're like, I got him. Was that an inside joke? Well, I'll take your $5. I mean, and you have fun with the inside joke. I'll take that trade-off. $5, inside joke. I get the $5s. And you get the little laugh on your end because I'm reading something stupid because I don't know anything about anything out there. I avoid all of it. Wait, Davion, did I turn you? Davion started with a little hate, and now he's saying you're the man, Ope. All right, Davion. I'm gonna look for you on this damn thing. Okay, you made my night. Davion says. Oh, well, you made my night. Turning around a hater always makes my night. All right, guys, I got to go. I'm babbling. I've lost my fastball. It's pretty obvious, but I'll get it back. I'll get some reps in. See, I don't even know how to end this. Should I just stay on? No, I can't stay on because my back really is fucking hurting from sitting. Like I said, this is the first time I've sat in weeks for an extended period of time. All right, guys. Soon. We'll be back soon.